What's up, YouTube? I am C-Town Train, and this is just a basic dude vlog. And today we're going to do a part 2 video about the Gordon 12-piece emergency survival kit. We already did a video kind of going over each item that was in there, and I think this would be a great base for something you'd throw in a pack or throw in your car, or something that you just keep around in case something happens. But I think there's some stuff that can come out of this case, and I think there's definitely some stuff that could go into this case that's going to give you a better chance. And I'm going to call them magnifiers, survival magnifiers. Now, just little modifications that you can make that's going to make everything go smoother, right? Now, all the stuff that's in here is like, some of it's gimmicky, some of it's more like hardcore survivalist, if something you would use if shit really hit the fan and there was nothing left. You'd have this stuff in here, right? I think that we can do better a little bit and just add and subtract, and I like to add and take things away from everything. And a lot of times I carry my stuff like a little bitty kit in my car in a little case like this. Just a little plastic case that has a fold-over latch, and I'll keep stuff in one of these just thrown in the glove box of my car. I'll keep some first aid in it. I'll keep some fire kit in it. I'll keep some water purifier tablets in it. Just little things. We've talked about stuff like this before on the channel. But I'll throw something like this in my car with just a few things in it that I might need. If I cut my finger, I have a Band-Aid. If I need some water and I'm broke down somewhere, I have water purifier tablets. Stuff like that. So the stuff in here was so tightly packed that you couldn't get really a lot of extra in it without taking out the foam padding. And I like the foam padding because it makes it quiet. And there are certain situations that you might be in that the survival kit comes in handy and you need it to be quiet. So we're going to leave the foam padding in. Now, we had talked about this flashlight, and I wanted to show you guys that it is dead on the same as this Cree flashlight that I got a few years ago. This one's been a little used and a little beat up. We keep this in the bag of tricks, but it is quite literally the same flashlight. All the way around, even to the color of the button. It is the same light that comes in this pack. Now, one of them is 15 bucks at one of the websites, but on Amazon right now, you can get a pack of 5 of these bad boys for $11. So that's pretty awesome. But it is just the same kind of flashlight that I've carried for years and years in the bag of tricks. Now, some things for me that are coming out of the kit. Now, I'm not saying everyone has to do this. I'm just saying this is what I'm doing. So the bellows is coming out. It's added weight. It's added space. Will it make making a fire that much easier? No. So for me, the pocket bellows goes away. Okay. And in here, there is some fishing supplies. We're going to set these aside for right now. Mainly because it's really very minimalist anyway. I'm not saying this isn't helpful. I'm not saying it's not staying inside the kit. I'm saying that for now, we're setting this aside. Now, carrying water is really hard in a survival situation, and that's not a lie. However, for me, this is added space in here that I don't need in my survival kit. So I'm taking the water bottle carrier out. Now, this might at some point go back in, but it's not a bottle itself. It's just a carrier for your belt to make your life easier, and that's cool. But for me, in this kit, it's added space. And maybe this could even go hang off the bag of tricks somewhere. Who knows? Maybe we'll get more of those. Because I do like the idea. Just not here. Now, we have our pocket saw. We're going to come back to that. We have our bracelet, which Bugging In, the channel Bugging In gave me a great tip. And he said that on here there is a ferro rod, and that is what this striker right here is for. So, it must be on the other side of something. But he said that on this bracelet there is a ferro rod. Oh, there it is, right there. Isn't that clever? It's right part of the buckle. So I wanted to thank Bugging In for pointing that out to me, because I would have never even thought to look. Look at that. There's our ferro rod. There's our striker. That is clever. Now, any situation you're going to need cordage. Any situation, this is just handy. Having this on your wrist, even if you got separated from everything else, you would have fire, right? And you'd have a whistle. So this stays in the pack, 100%. And thank you, Bugging In, for showing me that. I would have never noticed it, and that's pretty cool. For me, a thing like a tactical pin is more of an EDC item. Do I think that a pin is required to write things down? Yes, I do like having pins in a survival situation. For right now, the pin is staying in, but at some point, this might just get traded out for a regular old Sharpie. If you are in a situation where you would require a tactical pin, I don't know if the rest of this stuff would matter that much. Now, the knife's definitely staying in. This might not always be the knife that stays in this survival kit, but for now, this is a high enough quality knife, and it's decent sized, and it does a lot. It clicks a lot of boxes. It checks a lot of boxes for me. So not only would it be great for the survival stuff you need to do, there's definitely some other uses for a big knife like this that you might wind up getting down to, especially if you need a tactical pin. So this big boy, and he's got a nice thin profile, so he's going to stay in. The big ferro rod is staying in, 100%. This might get traded out eventually. This card right here with the bottle top opener and the can opener on it. For me, the can opener is the star of the show on the whole thing. But I might trade him out for a P38 because it's lighter and smaller and just doesn't take up the space and weight that this does. And the usefulness of the card, for me, they're very gimmicky. They're neat, but they're gimmicky. In your wallet, they're cool. In your survival kit, maybe not so much. The spork. You have no idea what a huge pet peeve of mine it is not to have something to eat with. I keep little plastic spoon things, the packets with the salt and the pepper out of like MREs and things in my regular book bag for work, in the bag of tricks, in a drawer next to my desk, in my car, just because if I want some General Tso chicken and I don't have a knife or a fork or a spoon or whatever, and I buy some, I want to have something to eat with. So just as a luxury to me, even though this does take up a lot of space, he also checks off a lot of boxes. He has a little knife blade on him. He also has this nice bottle top opener on him. It's got a survival whistle. So, and there you go. It's an actual survival gear kit piece. So this guy stays in the bag. And besides, it's the coolest part of the whole kit, in my opinion. Now, okay, so things that are staying in from the original kit. Oh, and also, it was so tight in there, I didn't even notice that I hadn't put the space blanket back in the kit. Everything was so tight in this kit that I hadn't even noticed that. Now, some of these things, for me, are important, some of them are not, and some stuff needs to desperately be added to this kit for it to be viable for a survival kit for me. Now, the first addition for me are potable water tabs. So if you can get you a gallon jug of water, or just a gallon jug, or even anything that remotely holds something like a gallon, then you don't have to work a lot with measuring stuff. And you could just use these tabs as it says on the label. But one thing that'll kill you faster than anything is bad water. You drink bad water and you get amoebic dysentery or any other, there's a million, even in the mountains where the water is clean and cold, there are some places where parasites live in the water, and you will die drinking bad water. You will get sick to your stomach. You will not be able to hold on to any water, and you'll become more dehydrated from drinking bad water. So for me, 100% the addition of these potable water taps, so you can have clean drinking water. One thing that I noticed that was cool about the pack is that I can take out the foam and put things behind the foam. So some of the stuff that I'm putting in behind the foam to keep them in place so I don't have to worry about them every time that I open up the pack. So the addition of some first aid. Now I'm doing 2 big gauze dressings, and these are not for taping to yourself if you get a cut or a scrape. These are going to be to roll and plug a hole if you have to. I know that's a crazy situation to be in, but and they could be for cut or scrape, really. I mean, use them for what you want. But I'm putting 2 big gauze dressings in, pressure dressing, hold pressure on a wound, stuff them into a wound if you have to pack a wound. If you cut your leg really bad, you need to pack it. You step on, a broken fence post or something. You're going to want to clean that up and then pack it. So the more, your body is a giant circulatory system, and the only way that pump runs is if you keep fluid in it. So if all the fluid leaks out of the system, your pump's going to stop. And when your pump stops, that's it. So now, for cleaning, we're going to throw these alcohol swabs in there. Now they're not a lot, but this is a survival kit. This isn't a trauma kit. So we're going to put 4 of these alcohol wound dressings in it so you can clean yourself up if you do get cut. Because infection will kill you, right? Now, we're doing a couple of different types of Band-Aids. Just because, alright? So, fingertip butterfly Band-Aids. I'm putting some fingertip butterfly Band-Aids in there. I hurt my fingers a lot. I get them smashed. All kinds of things happen to my fingers. Regular Band-Aids in a couple of different sizes. The regular elastic strip bandage, kind of a different shape of Band-Aid, and that one's waterproof. A little Band-Aid, and this one has cartoons on it. I think this one might be Ninja Turtles. What if one of your kids gets cut? I don't know. And you know what? Maybe I need to cheer myself up with a Ninja Turtle Band-Aid. You don't know. So all of those things. Now we're doing, these are antiseptic wound wipes. We're gonna do one single packet of bacitracin, because your enemy in this situation, one of your big enemies is infection, and those are what's gonna go. That's gonna go behind one of the pads, one of the foam pads in the kit. And we're going to just set that foam pad right in on top of those. And we are not going to have to worry about them every single time that we open our kit, but we are going to know that they're there. So there you go. So far we've added potable water tablets and some first aid. Now, fire starters such as ferro rods are great. But there are situations where you don't want to have to fight with a fire to come on, to make a fire. These are good, and these last forever. That's the other thing about ferro rods and the magnesium bricks, is that this will last forever, even when if matches get wet, if your lighter runs out of fluid. This never runs out of fluid, right? So it is important, but sometimes you just want shit to be easy. Sometimes you want, sorry, this is a family channel, forgive me. Sometimes you just want things to be easy. So we're going to throw a regular old Bic lighter in there, man. It's easy, it's tough, they're really hard to break, and I wouldn't use one of the cheapo lighters because they just run out of fluid randomly. The fluid just leaks out of them. Fluid doesn't leak out of a Bic for no reason. So we're putting a Bic lighter into our kit. I'm going to start putting this stuff on the side where our first aid kit is underneath that pad, because we might have to put things under the other pad, right? Okay, so we've added a Bic lighter because ease of use. Just because you're in a survival situation doesn't mean that everything has to be hard. Make some of it easy, save your energy. A Bic lighter is a great energy saver. right? So we're saving energy, we're conserving our energy. Now, I don't know if this might be a thing in here, but it might. I don't know, lots of people use nicotine products, and the ones that I would add, I'm not going to show them on camera because I don't think YouTube likes that, but the ones that I would add, because nothing will make you make poorer decisions than an unaddressed addiction. And that is in real life as a person, and that is in a survival situation. Nothing will make you make poorer decisions than an unaddressed addiction that you can't get. So in my pack, I would add some Zen or Velo or whatever kind of super dry little snooze pouches. And they come in a little bitty can. It's about that big. I would add this into my kit, an unopened package of them into my kit. They they keep for a long, long time because they're dry. And nothing, like even in life, nothing will make you make poorer decisions in life than an unaddressed addiction. Nothing will make you make poorer decisions in a survival situation than an unaddressed addiction. And in that vein, we are going to add 2 tea bags. Now, is it coffee? No. Would I rather it be coffee? Probably. But tea bags last for a long time. They're in this sealed pack. We might put a couple single serving coffees in here at some point, but for now, these 2 tea bags are going to save our butts from a caffeine headache. You can make tea pretty much wherever. Just add water, right? So these tea bags, and you can reuse a tea bag too if you want to carry it around with you. Maybe use it twice. For me, caffeine is a requirement. I get headaches. I try not to use as much of it nowadays as I did when I was a kid, but I like to have a little bit around. So 2 tea bags go in there. The other thing that we're going to add behind that deal is one of these. Now, this you might recognize and you might not. This is a part of every survival kit that I make. We put one of these in it. This is a valve stem puller. Now, if you are in an awful situation and you can't get away, you haven't been able to, and you sneak off, you finally get away, you can 100% disable a vehicle with a valve stem puller. Pull the valve stems out, let the air out. They're never going to know where the air is coming from. It's going to be really hard to figure out what happened. Their tires are going to be dead. Now, you could just knife their tires too, which might be a thing. But for me, if I can do it sneakily, I just ease those valve stems out. Maybe even if I just ease it out to where it's leaking, they might get a mile or 2 down the road and disable their vehicle away from their camp. Not all of my stuff on my channel is about having to evade other people. And I know it probably seems sort of out of character for someone like me to think that way. But sometimes you have to be sneaky. So ease those valve stems out and just let them leak. And when they're coming to chase you, maybe their vehicle will be disabled further away from their camp, and that makes their life harder. So just, it's nothing, it's not big, it's not heavy. I put one in every survival kit that I make. We're going to add a battery. Now we're going to put this pad back in this side so far, where that's all I'm putting behind this one. We're adding a battery for our flashlight. Just one extra battery. And we're going to add our flashlight. This is the one that came in the kit. It's just as good as the one that I bought 5 years ago. So he's going in there. And we're going to add definitely the ferrule rod. The big ferrule rod's going in. For reasons stated earlier, when your lighter's out of fluid, when your matches are wet, you'll still have this. But your lighter and your matches make your life easier, and that's why they got added to the pack. Our bracelet, the survival bracelet, cordage. Anytime you're stuck in the woods, you want to be able to make a little survival camp. Cordage is super handy. You need to drag something or carry something or make a bag or anything. You're going to want cordage. This is a good sized amount on this bracelet, plus all the other things that are on it. The compass, the whistle, the ferrule rod. This would just be handy. You'd put this on your wrist, Immediately when you got in a situation that was going wrong, this goes on your wrist. You wouldn't leave it in here, because that's going to be a thing where if you get separated from this, you've still got those tools right here, right? That's a great backup. Now, I'm really hemming and hawing about this bad boy. This cable saw. I've broken so many. I have not used this one yet. This looks like it's a quality one, though. It's got the swivels instead of just being hooked straight in. It feels pretty quality. It doesn't pinch over yet. So we are going to add this in because it might make making a survival camp easier. We're going to add it in. We are going to make a video on this particular cable saw that came in the kit. We are going to cut a limb off a tree with it, just like we did with the Coughlin's one. And we're going to see what we actually think of this particular cable saw. But it's a light. It doesn't take up a lot of space. So tentatively, this cable saw is going to go into our kit. Look how annoying that is. And it's also because I'm probably a little clumsy too, right? Just is what it is. There we go. I'll just kind of wrap him around himself a little bit there, and it'll hold on a little better in that little loop. Make sure we don't pinch it over, because that'll make it useless. Basically, it won't go through wood past the pinch point. So he's going back into the kit. For now. Also for now, we're going to put our survival card back in the kit because it has the bottle top opener on it and because it has the can opener on it. And like I said before, that might eventually get traded out for a P38 can opener. Just a little John Wayne can opener, right? Our knife goes back in our kit. You don't want to forget that. Big boy right there. So we are adding and taking away, right? Now, this might be controversial, but if you have space, you might add a couple packets of MRE peanut butter or MRE sunflower butter. It's really highly dense calories and it's fatty, it's oily. Your body takes ready fat and creates energy out of it very quickly. So if you're in a situation where you're working and you're moving, the fat and oils in this are going to be burned fast. It's not something you don't want to be on a diet in a survival situation. And I like the sunflower butter because when people are allergic to nuts, I'm not, but if someone was allergic to nuts and they found my pack, they would still have a little snack. Even though they have the nut allergy, hopefully they don't have a sunflower allergy. Okay, so that's going back in the pack. And we have a pair of snips. I have multiple pairs of snips. I like having them everywhere. They're a tool that I'm very used to using, so those are going to go in the pack. And a survival blanket. One of the space blankets, that's going in the pack. So far what we took out. Oh, that's not a space blanket. That is a waterproof packet of family pictures that I keep in survival. I wasn't going to talk about that. Sometimes you need a reason. Sometimes you need a reason to keep going, right? This is just a little waterproof pack of pictures that are pictures of my kids and my wife and family and stuff that if I was in the woods and stuck and everything was wrong and I was 3 or 4 days in and starving and didn't have good water, I would want a reason. I'd want to be able to see my reasons to keep going. So I keep in my survival kits, I keep just a little waterproof package of pictures of my family. So it gives me the reason. So if I'm out there and you can't find me, and I can't find you, there's my reason. I can pull out the little package of pictures of my family and give myself the reason to get up when I need to get up. And that's a lot about what being a man's about, right? Is getting up when you have to get up. I see a lot of things online now where people are trying to sell boys manhood to them. They're trying to get you to buy into a course or pay for lessons in masculinity, and you can't receive that information from a course or someone that you have to pay, or do you have to learn it all? That's something, some of it you could be taught by family members like your grandpa or your dad, but a course that you pay someone for is not going to give you that, and you're not going to find your masculinity in a Bugatti, and you're not going to find your masculinity in any of these products, and you're not going to find your masculinity in a content creator. You have to be a man, and I would say good man, but I think that it's a gray area. There's good and bad in every man. To be a man, you have to just go do it, and some of it you can learn from the people around you and your people that are in your environment, but I don't think it's something you can pay for. This is my opinion, and it is what it is. So, space blanket. We're adding the space blanket back to it. Sorry for, it's not a political message. It's just a personal belief message, and I hope it doesn't hurt anyone's feelings, but it's just the way that I see things, right? I don't think that's possible. It's not viable. It's not a viable solution. Anyway, space blanket. So let's go over what we have in here and what we've added and subtracted. So in here we have space blanket. We have a little snack of sunflower butter. We have a pair of snips. We have a survival card because it has our can opener on it. We have a spork. We've added a Bic lighter. We've added potable water tablets. We've kept the survival bracelet. We've kept the fire stick there, the fire starter stick. Kept the big knife because of its thin profile. Kept the flashlight. So far, tentatively, we've kept the cable saw. And we've added a AA battery for our flashlight. We have added 2 tea bags and a valve stem opener. And we have added our Band-Aids and gauze and cleaning solutions for a first aid kit. Now let's put it all in here. So we've got the stuff behind the pads. We're gonna put the cable saw. We're gonna add the knife right here. We're gonna add the spork right here. We're just packing everything up. We're gonna add the flashlight right here. We are going to put our fire stick. And I'm just packing things in here like Tetris, right? Our fire stick, potable water, our lighter, our survival card can opener, our survival blanket, our little snack there, just in case. And we're going to wrap our bracelet around in this direction. And our snips. Now, let's see if we can get them closed. Because this might not be the perfect size kit. It might not get everything in it. You never know. I might have added too much. So we'll see if we have to take some stuff out of it. You never know. For now, what I'm going to take out of it, because it wouldn't close in the first place with everything in it that was in it, right? We're going to take the snack out and pray that you have a snack. And we're going to take the snips out because they're redundant. And just kind of work everything in. Boom, perfect. So what we wound up removing in the end so far is we took the snips back out because we have a knife and another blade in there, and we took the snack back out because in case you crush that peanut butter out all over your stuff, that's going to be disgusting. The rain stopped and now the humidity hit. Okay, so that was our video about addition and subtraction and modification of the Gordon 12-piece survival kit. And I want to say thank you to everybody for watching my video. I really enjoy making these for you guys and just having little conversations. I do not talk about political subjects in my videos. I don't care about politics. I don't think that that's something that would matter if I was stuck in the woods at all. Or, what have you. So I don't that stuff doesn't go in my videos. So we have done modifications, and hopefully these little modifications are going to make our kit better for us to live through a survival experience. Thank you very much for watching. Now I am Z-Town Train. This is just a basic dude vlog, and this is a crazy long video. Sometimes they are. I'm trying to get back to a place where we can get our videos back shorter, but I hope that you guys liked it. I love making these for you. I'm out of here. You guys have a great night. You have a great day. I will see you later. Bye-bye.